Hey guys, today we're going to be doing a repair video for Miss Polina. As you can see, this is our wind damaged shingle. You can see the creasing up over at the top. You can see that it's lifting ready. Let's get a closer look at the creasing. Oh, it's a little harder to see. But do a side look. You can take a look. It is 70 degrees today. Let me just zoom out a little bit. Yeah, 70 degrees today. We are on the left facing slope. Will we be conducting the repair. So we got our wind damaged shingle. That's our work area. I am the only one on the roof, so I got my tripod set up. Before we go ahead and get started, let's just take a look at our surroundings. So you can see she got a ripped shingle right here coming from that spot right there. See, it's heavy granule loss in the gutter over here. So it is very brittle roof. Just a lot of granules in the gutter. And then let's just take a quick walk around. Got some more creased shingles. Some more missing over here, and then you also have the two tarts that I did put for helping Miss Polina with her leakage issues. Another missing over there. All right, so I did have a replacement shingle, but it got damaged on the way over to the property, so we are going to be using the same shingle for the repair simulation. So it's going to be a repair video, but since I don't have a replacement shingle due to it being damaged, it's going to be a simulation. Let me just make sure I get a good angle for you guys. All right, it's good. That should be good. All right, let's go ahead and get started on the repair video. So the tools I'm going to be using, I don't know if I mentioned as well, you can see I'm all the way by the gutter. So this is the lowest point as we can be conducting this repair. So let's go ahead and show off our tools. So we're going to be using this to unseal the shingles. As you can see, it's our standard pry bar, P-hook on the end. Notice how thin it is compared to the roof snake. This is a much larger, thicker end. We won't be using this to unseal the shingles, as we would end up causing rips and tears, whereas this is much thinner and smoother. You can see a side-by-side comparison to see how much thinner this is. This is really the only tool you should be using to unseal any shingles. We'll be using this tool to hammer the nails back in though. Then we also have our standard 16-ounce hammer that we're going to be using. So let's go ahead and conduct this repair. Let's take a quick look. I did want to point out that was the end of the seam. So with me knowing that that is the end of the seam, I'm just going to go ahead and mark my workspace. You can see right there is the end. I'm going to go ahead and mark my workspace, make my life a little bit easier. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. That way we can go ahead and get this repair started. Alright, this is the workspace area. Let's go ahead and put the camera back on the tripod. Let's get started. Alright, we're going to go ahead and start by unsealing the shingles. As I mentioned before, this is already a lifting shingle, so we won't need to unseal that. We'll be going from left to right. So let's get started. Notice I'll keep my fingers in the air, palm down, keep nice even pressure on the shingle I'm unsealing. That way I don't release any tension, allowing for my hand to slip and cut the shingle with the pry bar. So we're going to go ahead, go right in. All right, that's it first. Check for mat. Looks like we're good. All right, looks like we're good again. All right, next shingle. And again, keep my fingers up in the air. Keep a nice even pressure with my palm on the shingle. Just allows me, so in case my hand with the pry bar were to slip, I won't be cutting into the shingle and ripping it, causing any damages to it. Right. I'm not really seeing any mat. Last one for this row. Alright, gonna do a little less chatting for this last row so we can go ahead and conduct the rest of the repair. Yeah, again, I'm not really seeing any mat transfer. Alright, so now that we conducted the repair, I'm gonna go in and see where I'll be removing the nails. So keep in mind, I'll only be lifting the shingle up just enough to see where the nail is, no more than 30 degrees. I'll be lifting up with just my thumb. The rest of my fingers will be up in the air. If need be, if I need to rest my fingers, I'll rest it on the shingle above, never the same shingle I'm working on. You can see, just use enough pressure to prop that right up. Go in there one-handed and just remove that nail as so. Just double check, make sure there's no other nails. Alright. Oh, just a little bit of material that came out when I removed the nail. Just enough to see where the nail is. Put a little downward pressure. The downward pressure. Go in one-handed and just remove the nail. This is really the only way you should be conducting repair, as for it allows you to do the repair fairly simple without lifting up the shingle more than you have to. I'm gonna have to do a love tap on this one. Get a closer look. Alright, so it looks like this one is embedded a little too deep. So we're just gonna do what I call a love tap. Just gonna go in and tap our hammer on the nail a bit so we can get underneath there and remove it. So just go in, 1, 2, 3. Alright, found it. Alright, now that we got it removed, let's go in there one-handed and remove it. And sometimes you've got to do that, like I said, for those real stubborn nails that are just too far in deep. You gotta get under it somehow, some way. It's our last one for the row. Go in there one-handed, just remove it. And like I was saying before, I got caught on the nail. This is really the only way you should be conducting repair, just because you're not lifting up the shingle more than 30 degrees. You're not using any unnecessary force on the shingle with the tool. You're just putting enough force to lift the nail up. And as you can see, the shingle's only as high as the nail allows it to be. I'm just going in there one-handed with the P-hook and removing the nail, continuing on with the next shingle. Not lifting it any higher than it needs to be. No more than 30 degrees. Put a little downward pressure. Remove it. Taking my time. I know I do look a little quick, but I've just been experience. I think this is a double. Let's see. No, it's not a double. So, alright. It's our last nail. Yeah, sorry for lifting this shingle a little too high. This one was a little deeper than the rest of them. Alright, so that's, now that we can remove our shingle, go ahead and get a close look. I'm seeing a bit of granule loss as I remove this shingle. Right here, take a look. This is our wind damage shingle. See the creasing over here, across. Alright, so now we got a closer look at that. Let's go ahead and conduct the repair and see what are the results. Again, this shingle lifted a little higher only because the nail that I was removing was just a little deeper than the rest of them. So you guys can check back in the video. I didn't have to lift the rest of the shingles up that high, but they just put this one a little bit higher than the rest. All right. So now that we got that shingle in, just go in with our roof snake and go ahead and start nailing away. Now this is a perfect tool for conducting repairs. It only allows me to lift it up but so much, just for the tool, enough for the tool to get in there, and then go in a new hole, obviously, hammer in the nail. Then we just go in there and make it flush with the rest of the roof. Like I said, this tool only allows me to lift the shingle up just enough to get the tool underneath and conduct the repair. The shingle isn't lifting up more than 30 degrees. And again, when I get the tool underneath there, I lift the shingle up with just one finger. The rest of my fingers are up in the air. If need be, I'll rest my fingers on the shingle above. Never the same shingle I'm working on. Alright, so like I said before, I am seeing a bit more granule loss from conducting this repair. And like, again guys, I'm taking my time, being real gentle with the shingle. This is just what I'm seeing right now. Making sure that the nails get all the way through the decking. We don't want our shingle to just go flying off the roof now, would we? Just with the last row. Gonna finish up this last row, a little less talking. I don't want this video to drag out longer than it has to. Really appreciate you guys taking the time out to watch the video. Last two nails. We're on to our last nail of the row. Go ahead and get a closer look. Allow me, guys, to just blow away some of this chalk so we can get a better look on camera. Alright, so now that we got any debris cleared, let's see what was the direct result from the repair. So again, this was our wind damaged shingle. This was the shingle surrounding it. As you can see already, right here, you can see cracking here, 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 right here, 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 as well as here. And let me just get a closer look so you guys can see. I know there was a bit of debris in the way. I apologize. Yeah, you can see right here, it's cracking. This is the direct result from the repair. You can see over here at the top. I know it's a little hard to see just of how brittle the shingle is as well. Yeah, all across the top you can see that the shingle is just cracking. And again, this is the direct result from the repair. I took my time with the shingle, didn't lift it up higher than it needed to be. This is just a direct result from conducting the repair. And as you guys saw, it was already a lot of granule loss in the gutters. So it's just a really brittle shingle. I know it's a little harder to see, but I'll take a photo once we're all done as well. Take some up close photos. But this is the direct result of the repair. And again, this was on the lowest point possible that we can conduct this repair. So if we continue to push upwards, we're just going to be running into the same issues. So with that being said, this repair is going to be considered a fail. Let's do good by Miss Polina and get her a full roof replacement. Thank you guys for taking the time to watch the video. You guys have a good day.